Well, hello! You caught me playing dress up today. I did a little Love Witch themed photo shoot, and I decided I would stay right where I am and film a video since I'm looking festive. I even still have the blood. Hold on, let me just show you. Yeah? Huh? Still have the blood all over my hands, but whatever. It's drying. So let's do a video that hopefully is more of what the people want. Okay? I'm trying to give the people what they want. So we're going to talk about Giallo today. If you are a Giallo fan and you haven't seen The Love Witch, I would recommend it, not because it's like Giallo, but it's very style over substance. It's very like 60s and 70s looking, and it's just great. So I'm sure most of you guys have already seen it anyway. So I got this random idea for a Giallo video, and it's just kind of an excuse to talk about Giallo just casually. So I'm going to go through the list of the Gialli that I've seen and just pick out random movies from the list and talk about like what's the first thing I think of when I think about this film. I don't know, I just thought that might be a good like conversation starter. We're gonna try this, we're gonna see if it works. So I am going to refer to my letterbox where I keep track of everything I watched, but I have a list for all the Gialli I have watched. So I'm at 79 right now, by the way. Okay, so I'm just gonna like randomly look at these and kind of just spout off what do I think of when I think of this movie. So, what have you done to Solange? I think about, well, the knife up the hoo-ha. Forbidden Photos of a Lady Above Suspicion, well, I just think of Dagmar. And I think of the soundtrack. A Blade in the Dark, the first thing I think about is the scene where Katya gets slashed up in the bushes outside with the razor. That was like one of my first Gialli, and that was like the violence that I was looking for, and I was just like, yes, this is it. This is wild. Like, it was silly but also really really violent. So that's why I really love that movie. Phenomena, when I think about Phenomena, I think about the clothes. I think about the all white clothing, and I think about the Swiss Alps and all the wind. I think about the scenery, and I think about the clothes. Opera, well, when I think about opera, I think about the needles under the eye. That's just the coolest. Don't Torture a Duckling, when I think about that movie, I think about, it's like dirty. It's a dirty movie, like there's dust and dirt everywhere. It's like not glamorous, it's rural. So I think about that, and then I think about the murder of Florinda's character. Amok? When I think about Amok, I think about like, well, I think about Barbara Boucher looking so beautiful, but I think about like the weird sex. What are they doing? Don't they have like a weird sex club or something? I just think about weird sex. The Murder Secret. As we've discussed on this channel, when I think of The Murder Secret, I think about child decapitation, of course. Plot of Fear, as you may know, that was on my list of least favorite Gialli, but when I think about Plot of Fear, I think about that weird cartoon they put in there, that weird adult cartoon. Your Vice is a locked room and only I have the key. Unfortunately, I just think about incest when I think about that movie. Speaking of, 7 Deaths in the Cat's Eye, I just think about those cousins kissing. The Crimes of the Black Cat, well, I think about one of the death scenes at the end, because that is why it was recommended to me, was because of that death scene. The shower, straight razor in the shower scene. Interrobang, I think about the beach, and I think about the best Giallo soundtrack I have ever heard so far. My Dear Killer. My Dear Killer is the one where they have that death with the, what is that bulldozer-like machine that, all my rings are too big, that like comes down and picks things up? Well, at the beginning there was a death that involved grabbing a guy by the head with one of those. I think that was my dear killer. That was awesome. Death Walks on High Heels. Hey, this is a great example. Okay, so I don't remember too much about this movie, but when I think of Death Walks on High Heels, I think about Nievez's character. She's wearing this purple dress and she's home alone and she's just in this great mood and she pours herself some whiskey or something and then like goes and like plops down on the floor of the couch and just starts drinking the whiskey. And I was like, that is such a mood. I love that. I also think about her makeup in that movie because I did a recreation of that makeup. Tenebrae, I think about the interiors. I think about the white and clean interiors in that movie and like the straight lines and shit like that. I don't know. The girl in room 2A. When I think about that movie, I think of the lovely leading lady. I just really liked her. And I think about the room and just, I don't know, is a setting that you could just really get nestled into. And I think the main character was just really comforting. She was one that you could really cling to. Murder Rock. Well, when I think about Murder Rock, I think about awesome dancing. Torso. Well, you know, it's silly to say. It's not why I love the movie, but when I think about Torso, I think about that like weird sex party thing that was held in like a warehouse or an attic or something. I just think about that and I remember thinking like, dang, this is a sleazy movie. Spasmo. Yes, I think about Robert Hoffman's character just being a very, very confused boy. And Spasmo is the one where they had all those birds, right? All the birds, they had like an aviary. The house with laughing windows. I just think about that house. I think about how they were able to like give that title purpose, right? And I think about the rural setting and everything. And that too, similar to Don't Torture a Duckling, it's very like dusty, dirty, rusty, rural, grimy, if you will. Eyeball. When I think about Eyeball, I think about curly hair and great clothes and just a fun time. Lizard in a Woman's Skin. Now, when I hear that title, my mind envisions that dreamlike sequence between Anita Strindberg and Florinda Balkan, that beautiful, windblown, lesbian fever dream. That is what I think of. All the Colors of the Dark. I'm glad I picked this one out because this is the reason why I wanted to make this video in the first place, because I started noticing that every time I think of All the Colors of the Dark, what I think of is the most minuscule little moment in the movie. It's where Jane is walking in the city. Actually, I think she's running from Evan's character now. And I just remember these like boots that she has on and the autumn leaves on the ground and like those boots walking across the autumn leaves. And I just thought that was such a beautiful fall vibe. And I just think fall really adds a spooky flavor. So I don't know, I just love that little moment for some reason. So every time I think of All the Colors of the Dark, that's what I think about. Black Belly of the Tarantula, I think about Barbara Boucher's very, very short role in the movie. I think about Giancarlo. I need to work on my Italian. I think about Giancarlo's character, and then I think about the drugs underneath the tarantulas. Murder Obsession, which is one of my favorites. I think about the castle and the giant spiders and the terrible soundtrack. The washing machine. Will I ever shut up about the washing machine? I think about the refrigerator sex and the museum sex. Those are the two things I think about. Okay, let's wrap this up. I'll just grab one more random Giallo off this list, and that's Smile Before Death. And I think about the soundtrack. Do 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 do. Okay, hopefully this was fun. I don't know, it's just a little something I wanted to get out of my system, and it's something that I could do impromptu. Since I'm not sitting in front of my computer anymore because I'm on Christmas break. I'm not really writing scripts, right? So I'm just winging it. So that was me winging a Giallo video. I do have a ranking the gialli I've seen. That's coming soon, so check back. And I'm off to go find a new boyfriend. Bye!